Aloha. Good morning, everyone. Good evening, wherever you are. Just want to walk you through a beautiful, what you might call a color meditation or a chakra meditation. If you have watched the chakra video around the difference, importance, and around the intention of what's in each chakra and how those energy centers have effect on your total being. This is a meditation of how you connect further. Also, if you're more of a creative person, this is a great meditation for you to invoke some color and to kind of help you center into a practice if you are beginning meditation practice or wanting to try different styles of practice. And so, whether you know things about the chakras or not, either way, this is really about activating the creative side of the brain, allowing that space to really come into center using different colors. And so we use the chakras or location on the body for these energy centers to bring those colors to, just to give us something to do during the meditation. Remember, there are more than 7 chakras in the system, but we're going to go off the base 7 in the system. And just to recap real quick, probably from the other video, is that you have the root chakra, which has to do with feeling safe, feeling supported, feeling grounded, feeling secure about being with your soul, being here on earth. And so the color here is red. Now these colors have to do with, they actually aren't really colors. They're the vibration of the light that's in that space. And so the vibration of the light in the chakra space of the root chakra looks red. So we move on to the second chakra. Second chakra has to do with your sacral chakra, has to do with, this is where your creativity resides. This is around the sex organs. This is where your creativity comes from. Whether you want to create a business idea, a marketing plan, a dance, a song, painting, a child, all of it comes from this center. And this is your second chakra, and the color here is orange. All right. So the third chakra has to do with the solar plexus. This is where they say this is where your soul sits, the center of your being. And the color here is yellow, and so solar kind of plex. And so this is behind the rib cage, right in the center of your chest or center of abdomen. And then we move into then this is really like the solar plex chakra, third chakra is really like where your power comes from. Whether you power as far as lifting a weight or power as far as stepping into being more empowered in your being, like that energy comes from this space. Then we move into the heart chakra. This is your fourth chakra. The color here is green. This has to do with not only, giving love, but also receiving love. Beyond the action of love, beyond like loving somebody, it's also that space of understanding the true essence of who you are. The vibration of us is love, and that context is understanding that it's vibration or energy is always giving back to itself unconditionally. As a planet, we call that unconditional love. Other planets might call it something different. But the point is, it's a frequency. It's always giving back to itself. Just like if you accidentally cut yourself, your body would begin to love itself. But within 7 days, that cut's no longer there. It's the natural state of our being, is this energy that's always giving back to itself that we call love, or unconditional love. And so this is where that space flows out of the heart. Also, the heart has more unknowns than the brain, and so this is a space where we can access information. Remember, it's the first organ that's created in the womb. And so this is the space you can access information from, you might call your higher self. It's a beautiful opening, a beautiful space. And so know that all the back of the chakras spin in a counterclockwise formation, and all the front of the chakras spin in a clockwise formation, because the back of the chakra is where you receive the gifts of the traits or intentions in these chakras, and the front of the chakra is where you give those traits, those beautiful gifts of the chakra, and they run through you. Energy's always moving. All right, we move into the fifth chakra. So the fifth chakra has to do with like speaking your truth, also has to do with hear your truth, know that you were given 2 ears and 1 mouth. So it's beautiful to always remember to listen more than you speak. But again, not only is where you speak the truth, this is also where you hear your truth. This is the energy center for all of that. All right, and the color here is blue. Then we move into the sixth chakra. This is what you might call the third eye. The color here is purple. This is your translator for your intuition. People think this comes from this space, but this is really a translator. The information comes to the heart, and the heart has a direct connection with the third eye. But know that our being is made of 2 things. One is light and one is sound. And so that information comes through in light and sound, and then the translator of our third eye helps you understand, based in your language and your own understanding, what those messages are. So no matter what language you speak, or where country you're from, or any way you translate or communicate, that's how the message comes through. And everybody might hear the same message, but they hear it in their own translation. So it's really beautiful. That is the third eye. There's also spaces where you can close your eyes and travel with your third eye. You can see things. You know, many clients been able to see the room they're sitting in, or go check out other places we might call remote viewing, like with the third eye. It's a really beautiful gift to have this expansion when you really come into this deeper connection. Then you have your seventh chakra. This is the crown. This is what they might call the gold or yellow frequency. And so this is more of a connection. Like with the crown is where the energy comes down through the body, ignites all the chakras, as well as connects to the Kundalini. Energy is always moving. You can actually see your own energy being, you'd be amazed on what it's doing and how it looks. So, but this is a way to access those kind of 7-prong plug-in to our being. And so this is a meditation we're going to go through, a very short meditation of how to activate those spaces. So I'll be here for a moment. Any meditation I do, I always have a candle burning, just honoring as an offering, and honoring, usually incense, to offering all of creation, spirit, God, source, whatever name you choose to give it, into that space. So we start with a little breath work to center us down. So receive it, inhale, exhale everything out. Start with Kalabhati breath, skull shining breath. Receive an inhale for energy. Begin. All right, next breath is rapid breath. It kind of sounds like a dog panting, like this. So receive a breath. Exhale everything out. Inhale, begin. All right, next is Nadi Sodha, nostril breathing. Inhale your dominant hand up, fold the fingers down. You can do fingers to the hand, chakra. Just remember, the fingers on the outside of the hand work with the nostrils. So receive a breath. Block one side, exhale the opposite. Inhale. Block, switch, exhale. Inhale. Block, exhale. Inhale. Block, exhale. Go on your own 2 more times. Receive a moment. Recognize the first 2 styles of breath that help those energy in the system. Third breath is calming the mind, coming into center. So receive a moment, just recognize the power of the breath. Right, now your hands overhead. Bring your hands to your heart space. We're going to offer 3 ohms to open up the practice. Receive a breath. Om. Place your hands down on your knees. You can be sitting in a chair. Sitting in a chair or sitting cross-legged on your mat or on your cushion. I'm sitting cross-legged here in my chair. So you can do whatever position feels called to you. There's no right or wrong position to meditation. You can do it sitting, laying, standing, or moving, or making love. There's 5 different ways to connect that space. So either way, in the sitting position, you're here. You have your hands turned up for receiving, palms turned down for grounding, whatever you choose to do. It's really up to you and what you feel called in the moment. So just begin to close your eyes. You can look at that third eye point at the base of the skull or the middle of the forehead. So here we're going to imagine if you need help creating color, you can use objects. If you think of objects that are that color, it might help you create that color. So on the next inhale, we're going to begin to create red. So as you begin to inhale, imagine the air is of the color red. If it's not the color red, with your eyes closed, and begin to imagine a picture, whether it be a red pair of pants or shoes or a red hat, anything you need to see red. Just imagine that beautiful color red as the air as you're breathing it all the way in. And as you exhale, you're going to deposit down to that space between the thighs, the root chakra area at the base of the torso, again between the thighs. So as we inhale, we breathe in the colors, if the air were that color. As we exhale, we deposit the color down to the space where the root chakra or chakra is located. Again, inhale, create the color. And as you exhale, deposit it. Inhale through your nose, exhale mouth, or both through the nose, whatever feels called to you. Again, there's no right or wrong way to do it. Inhale to create. Exhale to deposit in that space. A couple more cycles of breath. On the next inhale, begin to create the color orange. You can breathe in orange as you see orange in the air. Or again, imagine a color or an object, like a basketball, something you know that is orange color as you breathe in. Imagine that color orange is the air with that color. And as you exhale, deposit down to the space behind the belly button. So create the beautiful color orange with the inhale. As you exhale, deposit down again behind the belly button. I like to use the image if I was pouring paint down my throat into this space. Creating the beautiful color of orange on the inhale. So imagine the air for that color. And as you exhale, deposit it down into the space behind the belly button. 2 more cycles of breath here with orange. Now we shift into the rib cage with the color of yellow in the solar plexus, third chakra. Imagine the beautiful yellow colors you're breathing in as you have the air with that color yellow coming all the way in. As you exhale, deposit down to the rib cage. You need to use any kind of imagery. Maybe it's the color of mustard, yellow, golden mustard, bright yellow, whatever color yellow comes to you that you see, breathing it all the way in with the inhale. As you exhale, deposit down to that solar plexus space again by the rib cage. Activating your empowerment, stepping into your empowerment here, your power of your being. You can create the color with the inhale. As you exhale, deposit it. A couple more cycles of breath. the next inhale, begin to move into the heart space. Again, that color green, whatever shade of green resonates with you. Bright green, dark forest green, neon green. Whatever it is, breathing it all the way in as if the air were that color, coming all the way in with the breath. As you exhale, pouring that color down to the heart space, along the entire chest cavity to fill up with this beautiful green light. Fill with the inhale, pausing with the exhale. Exhale it down to the heart space, filling it all the way up. Again, inhale, create. Exhale, deposit. One more cycle of breath here. On the next inhale, begin to create that beautiful color blue, ocean blue, bright blue, light blue, sea blue, blue sky. As you exhale, deposit down again to the throat space, energetic space around the neck, base of the chin, around the ears, where you speak and hear your truth. Breathing it all the way with the breath. As you exhale, depositing all the way down. You're having a challenge seeing the color, it's okay. Just continue breathing it in. Use whatever imagery you need to see. Inhaling the beautiful blue. Exhaling your throat. A couple more cycles of breath here. Next inhale, bring it up to purple or indigo. With the third eye pointing in the base, the space in the middle of the forehead between the eyebrows. Breathe it here. Exhale, deposit all the way. Give me whatever imagery you need to see, a purple robe, indigo color, a sunset. As you breathe it all the way in, that light purple space color. So you exhale, deposit the third eye space. Point below the forehead or between the eyebrows. Inhaling all the way with the breath in to the inhale. Exhaling into your intuitive space, your translator for your own inner guidance of self. Create with the color breath in. As you exhale, deposit into the third eye space. Two more cycles of breath. On the next inhale, see that beautiful color of that white, bright light. This bright light, as you can imagine, breathing it all the way in. As you exhale, place it in the crown, the king or queen crown of your being. The top of the skull, that's your connection to highest self here. beautiful light with the inhale through the nose. Exhaling, depositing that color into the space on top of the crown. That beautiful golden white light. Couple more cycles of breath. The color on the inhale, exhale, deposit it. We're going to begin to imagine vines of a tree or roots growing down. So the roots start at the top of the crown of the 7th chakra. And on the next inhale, imagine those roots growing down from the 7th to the 6th, growing roots down from the white to the purple. And on the next inhale, imagine those roots going down from the purple to the blue, connecting the 6th to the 5th. And the next inhale, grow those roots down from the blue to the green. You can just imagine this happening inside your being. And the next inhale, grow those roots down from the green to the yellow. Inhale, see the roots. And as you exhale, imagine growing down now from the yellow to the orange. Again, inhale. As you breathe in, see the roots there. As you exhale, guide those roots down from the orange to the yellow. The orange to the red. And the next exhale, imagine roots going down through the legs, into the feet, 3 or 4 inches into the earth. So inhale, create the roots. And as you exhale, imagine them growing down, the roots down the legs, 3 to 4 out the base of the feet, 3 to 4 feet out into the ground, and then spread out and spread the roots into the earth, grounding yourself, feeling fully empowered, centered, feeling safe in your root chakra. Full creative activation and creativity, the 2nd chakra, empowerment in the yellow chakra, the 3rd chakra. The 4th chakra, activating the self-love and self-care for yourself and others, unconditional love. Activating the 5th chakra as you activate speaking your truth, giving yourself permission to speak your truth, as well as listen to your own truth and guidance. Moving up to the 6th chakra, that purple space, the indigo space of the translate of your own intuition, of your own inner guidance from your godlike self, guiding in every moment. And that final, that crown, that connection to source, that beautiful white light coming out the top of your being, that king or queen crown, as you fully connect. I advise you just to take some moments and sit in this energy or frequency or expansion or connection for as long as you need. You can pause the video to do so at this moment. Then to close, inhale your hands overhead, bring your hands to heart space. We'll offer 3 ohms to close the container of the practice. Receive an inhale. Om. Just bow your chin, none of you. Your devotion, dedication, discipline to your self-love, self-care practice. Amen, Amin, Ashe, Aho, Adonai, Shalom, Shalom, Aloha, Mahalo, Satnam, Namaste. Blessings to your day.